So, at the beginning of the movie, we are shown a group of 6 friends at a deserted place who had come there to shoot a horror video. Here, a sheriff takes his new partner named David, but seeing these people, he left after finishing his shift. Leaving a couple behind, the entire group becomes restless there, and the couple, enjoying themselves, start exploring the place. While exploring, the boy runs away to a nearby cabin where there were many pigs. He began bothering the pigs with a stick, which annoyed them, causing them to make noise. Soon, a man arrived here to remove the pigs, evict them from their residence. Before these people turn around and pay attention to that spirit, the spirit waves a large cutter in his hand and decapitates the boy's head from the body. The nearby girl started screaming like that and ran inside, while another in the distance kept spinning his sickle and staring at the girl with angry eyes. Again and again he cuts the girl's throat and kills her. It turns out that these spirits had just committed 2 murders. This is the son of an old man named Lester who ran these pigs' slaughterhouse. But now his work has completely stopped because in the modern age, people have started getting processed meat from factories instead of buying meat from slaughterhouses. Lester has not made any upgrades in his village, so therefore his slaughterhouse has completely shut down, while his competitor Tom's meat factories were thriving in the city these days. And he now wanted to take over Lester's property. It was found that Tom used to work under Lester, but then he set up his own meat factory and introduced modern methods which made him very successful today. Lester's son always kept him with the slaughterhouse with the pigs, so he was no longer normal, as he kept arguing, to the point that he even spoke like the pigs. The 2 murders he had just committed were because they were troubling his pigs. He has no sense in front of his pigs. The next morning, it is seen that Lester's competitor Tom, along with a sheriff who is Lester's friend, has come to his property so that he can force Lester to sell his property. Lester's friend who had just come with Tom was the same friend who had advised Lester to build a slaughterhouse. On his advice, the slaughterhouse business became successful. Meanwhile, he had told Lester to do modern upgrades, but at that time Lester did not heed him. Therefore, the friend now works with Tom. At this time, Tom had brought an offer for Lester to sell his property for just $55,000 and to work for him so that Lester keeps receiving money and can continue to live there. But this time Lester also refused the offer. Reeve threatened him saying, "If you want to sell now, then sell. Anyway, you haven't paid income tax on the offer. 1 month later, your property will be auctioned as it is." Lester does not pay attention to the sheriff's words and goes inside. Such a sheriff. Similarly, a notice related to the auction gets attached to his property, and after all this, he tries to enter his slaughterhouse. Badi, his son, understands him. Today, initially, Badi did something like this. Lester, surprised, quickly went inside and entered. Badi had killed 2 humans and hung them by the neck. Seeing this, Lester becomes angry, and he scolds Badi, asking what he has done. By scolding himself, Lester also gets agitated to the point that he even keeps his knife raised to kill Badi, but then, after thinking about it, he doesn't kill him. Here, something amusing also happened, and Lester's anger also cooled down, and he reprimanded his son because he had made good cuts on the bodies, hearing Badi's praise. And here, something else started cooking in Lester's mind. He told his son, "You have to make 3 such cuts, on Tom, Sheriff, and their bodies as well." Here, Lester tries to formulate a plan and also prepares himself. After that, he called Tom and told him, "I am ready to take your offer. Come to my slaughterhouse." Meanwhile, on the other side, we see the group of 4 that we saw at the start of the movie. They were still planning their horror video. And for their horror video, these people went to a shop and got some masks and such, and decided to come to the slaughterhouse again to continue shooting. They say that Lester is planning a murder with his son there. On the other side, we are shown Sheriff David. She had received information that a couple hadn't returned home for 2 days. These 2 were the same ones she had seen near the slaughterhouse for the last time. Therefore, she also heads towards the slaughterhouse for the investigation. When David arrived here, he saw the group of 4 inside the slaughterhouse. The 4 were there. They were shooting their video and were doing so calmly because Lester had already taken and hidden the bodies of their 2 friends from there. After shooting, the 4 leave from here and Badi sees them. Meanwhile, Lester again threatens Tom and his entire group. Come to meet me quickly. I am ready to make all the offers. Here is Dave, who had gone inside the slaughterhouse to conduct the investigation. Dave saw blood dripping from somewhere. When he looked up, he saw a dead cat hanging above. This also troubled Badi's friends, so Badi killed and hung him as well. Whoever disturbs his friends meets the same fate. He was afraid that the killer who had killed that couple would be right here. He was pointing his gun forward when suddenly someone fired their gun, and his gun. Badi cut it off with his own hand. There was no one else. As soon as the hand was severed, heavy bleeding ensued and David died on the spot. Immediately after killing David, Badi summoned Lester to bring his weapon. If there had been another threat, there would have been some tension, but he didn't tell Badi. Badi was also praised for this act. After a short while, the common friend of Lester and Tom finally arrived here. Lester waited for the deal-focused person. Consequently, they decorated the entire slaughterhouse for his arrival. They had hung the bodies of dead humans. Seeing this, the poor guy got scared and was shocked. It seems that Badi was planning to escape from here. He grabbed her neck with his hand and crushed her entire face. By forcefully crushing her face with his hand, he killed her here as well. After that, Badi's heart hadn't stopped yet. He wanted to make some changes. He took off David's uniform and somehow cut it too. Restrained him, and then, sitting in his own car, he started driving away from here. In his gruff voice, he was also responding on the police walkie-talkie. Now, on the way, Dave's girlfriend saw this car. She thought Dave would be inside, so she tried to start the car, and when she looked inside, Badi was there. She went in fear and got into her car, but Badi didn't let it move forward. He picked up a stone and threw it at her car. To save her life, the girl also got out of the car. She was running away, but from behind Badi came and caught her and strangled her neck using his knuckles in a strange way, and thus, he committed another murder here. A short while later, Tom arrived inside the slaughterhouse, the same person who was trying to buy that property, and on which Lester was most obsessed. So, the most terrifying death befitted him. Therefore, Badi put him inside the grinding machine and gradually his body was ground into pulp. Now, in the club, we are shown the group of 4 who keep coming to this slaughterhouse and come to shoot videos. They were partying at the club when suddenly the lights went out because there was a powerful storm with heavy lightning, making this storm even more terrifying. They planned that these people would go to the slaughterhouse again to shoot because this generated a frightening atmosphere none could surpass. Their words and actions led them to believe that Sally could be a slayer alone up to a certain point. She would stop there, which made her a little scared. After planning, people entered the slaughterhouse. Once Sally became a slayer, the other 2 boys chased her and plotted to kill her. They wore masks and approached to scare her through the window. Seeing all the chaos there, she became very scared. The boy in the mask who had come to bother her was attacked from behind by Badri, who hit his head. His body was severely injured. Now she was worried about her life. She tried to run away from there. But the group, including Badri, caught her from outside, and as Badri advanced, they also harmed another boy. Luster had also killed Sally. Now, the blame for all 4 was being sought, and when she came inside the slaughterhouse, she found one. She couldn't understand anything because the bodies of her 3 friends were hung from the ceiling. A scene switched, and we learned about the sheriff. The sheriff had received many missing person reports. First, he saw the couple who were last seen near the slaughterhouse. Then Deputy Josh was conducting the murder investigation, but he hasn't returned yet. After that, Herbert and Tom. In this situation, all suspicion was falling on the sheriff, Luster, so he also went to the slaughterhouse to conduct the investigation. And before going, he also requested backup from the police. Here, it was shown inside the slaughterhouse that these people were torturing the last remaining girl because she was the sheriff's daughter. Before these people could kill her, the sheriff came from behind. As soon as he turned towards her, the girl ran away. To catch her, Badri chased after her, but then the sheriff fired a gunshot, which scared Badri, and he ran back. These people then fled and came to the spot where Peno had harmed pigs. The sheriff told his daughter, "You run while I handle these 2, promising backup police. Their plan seemed secure until Luster appeared and shot him in the chest from behind. Before he could attack this girl as well, the girl here picked up her gun and shot him. She saw that the sheriff, her dad, was still alive. To save him, she could have taken him to the hospital, but instead, she grabbed her gun and sped towards her car before she could drive away from there. Luster came again in front of their car, which she thought was a threat. She didn't hesitate and quickly accelerated her vehicle, pushing Luster out of the car and driving over him with her own car. Her car's front crushed his head as she drove away. Now they thought these people would escape, but it was just their illusion because Badri, whom they hadn't paid attention to until now, was hidden inside the car and killed the girl with his knife, ending everything here. And the movie also ends at this point.